Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us on air and streaming on KARE 11 Plus. I'm Jennifer Hoff. So in just over 12 hours now, tens of thousands of people are expected in St. Paul as part of the No Kings rally. Our Joe McCoy is live outside the Capitol tonight with what you need to know. Joe?
Yeah, Jennifer, crews are still setting up that main stage behind me. There is expected to be a sea of people here tomorrow at the Capitol, and this will be the flagship No Kings rally with more than 3,000 protests scheduled across the country. Final preparations are underway at the Minnesota State Capitol.
At least 12 hours total for setup.
As tens of thousands of people are expected for Saturday's flagship No Kings protest.
Some of my peers are building the stage. We're setting up lighting.
Crews hard at work, preparing for big names, including Bruce Springsteen, Jane Fonda, Bernie Sanders, and other local elected officials.
I'm so excited. I'm going to be at the event tomorrow. I booked a hotel near it.
Kimberly Koken came up from Rochester and says tomorrow is all about community and fighting for what you believe in.
I'm going to wear red, white, and blue and be proud and hope that everybody coming together, maybe we can make a change.
St. Paul PD says this protest, which begins at 2, could be the largest one they have ever seen.
There's a lot of logistics that go behind it. I think in total there'll be probably close to 300 or more sworn law enforcement in and around the Capitol. Starting at Harriet Island and securing the routes to the locations of the marches.
I reached out to St. Paul PD asking how much money will be spent on officer overtime on Saturday. They said a number will be given after this weekend.
We're going to have screens and better sound systems, so we're very excited about that.
Ann Tracy with Women's March Minnesota says it's a point of pride that St. Paul was chosen as the flagship location.
It's the power of the people. It's the time for us to celebrate. It's the time for us to show the rest of the world that we're tough, but we're fun too.
During previous No Kings rallies across the country, President Trump called them a joke and said that they are not representative of the people of our country. Jennifer.
All right, Joe, live in St. Paul for us tonight. Thank you. And if you will be in the city or around that area tomorrow, be sure and check out this map. So the blue streets that you see on there, they'll be closed for a couple of hours tomorrow. And that does include portions of roads like Kellogg, John Ireland Boulevard, Wabasha, and Rondo. The red parts you see right around the Capitol complex, well, those will be closed for the entire day. We will bring you live coverage of tomorrow's event on KARE 11 Plus, our app for your TV. All that coverage begins at noon, and then we'll stream it live until it's over. Tonight we have some heartbreaking new details about the White Bear Lake house fire that killed NHL reporter Jessie Pierce and her 3 children. And it appears that all 4 of them were close to escaping that fire. There's a search warrant that says that the flames were so intense when firefighters got there that it kept them from even going inside. The document says when the fire was contained and first responders got inside, they found Pierce and her kids right near the entryway. Pierce's husband was away on a work trip at the time, and court documents say that police called him to tell him about the fire. The cause is still under investigation, but police have said that they don't think it's suspicious. Let's take a live look over the U.S. Capitol now tonight, where funding for the Department of Homeland Security is still in limbo. GOP House leaders are now proposing a new short-term bill to keep current funding levels the way they are, something Democrats say they won't support. Now, all of this comes just hours after the House rejected a Senate-backed bill that would have funded most of DHS except for ICE and Border Protection. Democrats praised that bill, while House Speaker Mike Johnson called it a joke.
I'm very proud of our Democratic caucus. Throughout it all, Senate Democrats stood united, no wavering, no backing down. We held the line.
These aren't partisan games. We're not adding bells and whistles to this. It is a clean continuation of funding to make sure that the most basic responsibility of government is fulfilled.
President Trump signed an executive order today, though, that will pay TSA officers by Monday. Today, Vice President J.D. Vance taking aim at Minnesota in his first meeting of a new White House anti-fraud task force. President Trump announced this project last month in his State of the Union address. It's expected to lower federal spending by identifying misuse of federal funds. The effort also comes after allegations of fraud involving daycare centers run by Somali residents in Minneapolis. And Vance cited some of those allegations during today's meeting.
I think that the autism scam that we've seen in the Somalian parts of Minnesota really illustrates well what's been going on across whole layers of our government.
Governor Walz has denied these claims, saying the Trump administration is weaponizing the federal government to punish blue states like Minnesota. Right now, a Republican state lawmaker who's also seeking the GOP nomination for state auditor is out of jail after being arrested on suspicion of DWI. Police say they pulled over Representative Elliot Engen just before 2 this morning in White Bear Lake. Police also say he later registered a .13 blood alcohol level. In a statement, Engen apologized and said he'll learn from this and do better. House Speaker Lisa Damas says that she will address the incident directly with Engen and consider further consequences as the legal process unfolds. And also tonight, Tiger Woods is still in jail in Florida after being arrested and charged with DUI. His mugshot just released in the last hour. Woods rolled his vehicle on a residential street near his home on Jupiter Island, Florida. Investigators say they think he was impaired at the time of the crash, but they don't think it was alcohol. Thankfully, nobody was hurt in the crash. Let's go to weather now. And really a beautiful weekend in store. Meteorologist Jamie Cagle out in the backyard with a preview. And we are talking some winds too.
Yes, we're talking about some strong winds tomorrow, but they will be shifting around to the south and southwest. We will be talking about a nice warm up as well. There is a red flag warning in place tomorrow noon to 7 p.m. for the vast majority of Minnesota. The very northern part there, well, there's still snow on the ground. So again, no red flag warning as you move north of Bemidji, north of the Grand Rapids area. But again, some very strong winds regardless, and some fire dangers with outdoor burning. So again, really advised not to do that tomorrow. Wait till Sunday when the winds are much lighter. 39 and 26. That's where our numbers ended up today. And right now we're sitting at 25, feeling like 18. Give you a sneak peek at the weekend, though. They involve temperatures that are much warmer. It looks like a good deal of sunshine. We'll break it all down for you in a few minutes.
All right, Jamie, thank you. Hey, in the last 90 minutes, the Gophers falling to UCLA in the Sweet 16 by a final score of 80-56. They put up a fight, though, the Gophers in the game to start, down by just 5 points at halftime. But ultimately, they couldn't overpower the #1 seeded Bruins. Despite the outcome, though, hundreds of fans packed into bars all across the Twin Cities to support the Gophers women's team. Many of them were at a bar of their own in Minneapolis, of course, a great spot to watch women's sports. They said that they're still so proud of this team, of course, and how far they've made it in the tournament, and they're already looking forward to supporting them again next season. Still ahead in just 2 minutes, we have an important recall alert to know, for you to know about, rather, before your next big cookout. And with the nice weather, you might be doing that sooner than later. Plus, the popularity of Peeps, despite their controversial status, data shows that they reign supreme at Easter time.
From homeless teen to new law school grad. But how?
When I needed God, God was always there for me. Hi, Serena.
Monday at 10 in the land of 10,000 stories.